Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Thank you very much for being here at the AXA Auditory. It's a great pleasure for me, for AXA, to host your graduation in this beautiful building. And it's also a great opportunity for us to thank the Barcelona GSE for giving me the opportunity to address you today and reiterate how AXA Spain and AXA Research Fund are committed with this institution, the Barcelona Global School of Economics, and with your education. Today, it is a celebration and a culmination of all your hard work and merits achieved throughout the year. It is a first step, one of the most important of your professional future life, without any doubt, and a step that will mark you the beginning of a long and a productive way. You are young, you are highly qualified, and with a healthy ambition. Your contribution certainly will be very important for the society of today and for the society of tomorrow. You have a great responsibility and a great journey full of challenges. I am convinced that you will know how to deal with it. Thank you for everything. Congratulations for today and good luck for the future. Thank you, and I give the pass to Dr. Ramon Marimon, Chairman of the Barcelona GSE.
Thank you, Mr. Agustin, and thank you for having us here. It's very hot and warm outside, but it's very pleasant to be here for all of you. And I also want to thank the Secretary of Economy and Finance, Generalitat de Catalunya, Albert Carreras, to come here, also on behalf of the Minister of Finance and Knowledge, Andreu Mascolell, to the Rector of the Universitat Pompeu Fabra, Andreu Moreso, and the Vice-Rector of the Universitat Autònoma de Barcelona, Montse Ferrell, with us. And we all together, we're going to deliver all the awards and the diplomas. As you know, this is the fifth cohort, the fifth promotion graduation ceremony of the Barcelona GSE, and it's expanding every year. Expanding in many dimensions. Is 220 of you who got the diplomas and degrees, and from 57 countries. So it's one of the most international programs in Europe. A program that most of you already getting jobs or getting into top PhD programs to follow up the studies, or getting jobs in private firms, international organizations. Our aim is precisely to use economic thought and economic analysis to different applications. And that's why we have 7 masters: the master program in competition and market regulation, the master program in economics of science and innovation, in health, economics and policy, and international trade, finance and development, the master program in macroeconomic policy and financial markets, the one in economics and the one in finance. All of you are going to get the degrees. It has been a very intense year, and it's your achievement, not only to get the degree now, but to start an academic or professional career afterwards. For us, it has been very important to have you here, and I want to thank all of you, but I also want to thank in particular all the faculty and all the staff that has made all this possible. Now we are just waiting for the new cohort, the new people to come next year, and we're going to have a similar or larger ceremony the year after. This means that we also having more than 1,000 graduates from the Barcelona GSE, even if it's a very young program, a very young school. This means that now you can go all over the world and find people, alumni from Barcelona GSE. And we have the alumni and the network, and I welcome you to join in. Next fall, in November, we're going to have a meeting of all the alumni. So you're most welcome to come and to be in touch. It is very important, and it's a crucial element on this program, precisely the people you meet. Not only because it's an exchange of ideas, an exchange of professional experiences, many times it's an exchange of good and new friendships, of a very different kind that many times you had before. You had been here in Barcelona, you had learned the experience of being here, but mostly you have met people from all over the world who have very similar interests. And this is something that you will keep. So today is just one step more in this aspect of your education and your professional career. I just want to congratulate all of you, and we just will proceed. So I'll give the word to Albert Carreras.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a big pleasure and a big honor for me to have been invited to give the commencement speech to this 5th cohort at the Barcelona Graduate School of Economics. It's quite impressive. The progress in quantitative terms from the first to this 5th one has been really spectacular in terms of variety, in terms of quantity, and I'm sure also in terms of quality. You have been, you are making an impact, and the theme of what I will be trying to convey to you is that you have the opportunity and you have the duty to make an impact. And I will select the topic about government. So you in government, the governments and you. Let me start first by congratulating you. This is a big moment. You have been working hard for 1 year, almost 1 year. Perhaps you also worked hard in the previous years, because if not, it would be highly unlikely to have you here around. And you had the dream of attending 1 year at Barcelona, at the Barcelona GSE. So it's also in point to congratulate you because of the successful accomplishment of your experience during this year. Also my congratulations to all your family, to all your friends that accompany you now, or that not accompanying you are happy because you have been succeeding in what you have been doing during this year. One of the typical things that you remember out of your many months at the school, at the postgraduate school, is that you work hard. I think that this is something that has to be true. You have been working hard. In many cases, perhaps you think a bit too much hard. And typically, your perspective could be now, at this moment of joy and freedom, that, wow, this is the end of working hard. And perhaps you will have a few days of holiday. But the full point of working hard is to make you be able to work even harder. So be sure about this. What is waiting for you there outside is to work very, very hard as possible. And this, to be fair, is just good. It's the kind of thing that will make you different. The ability of working hard, being able to do this always under pressure, but for some moments of joy or relax, and being able to think also well under these circumstances and work in a well-oriented way. So we take exams in order to have the routine of doing this instantaneously. One of the things that I have been impressed during my short time, 1.5 years in government, is that passing exams is what you do every minute. And when you are not passing the exam, it's somebody else that you are passing the exam. And typically you pass both the exam, or we pass both the exam together. Because when somebody is trying to sell you something, the exam is for both, or when you're trying to assess a program, the exam is for both, the ones that are asking for the money and the ones that are screening if the money is to be allocated or not to that end. And when you ask for money in order to have the money to the others to do their program, you're also doing the same game with somebody else. So everybody's doing the best in order to progress, in order to provide public goods, public facilities, public services. To be in government is a bit different from other things. In many ways, there is the tension that there are many that are in government. Perhaps many of you will be in governments, in international organizations that are quasi-governments, or you will be in central banks, or you will be in government departments. And you will do this perhaps on a tenured base. This is an experience. And the other experience is to do this on a non-tenured base as somebody doing a political career that typically is non-tenured and has many problems and many contingencies. So in both occasions, you're working for a public purpose, and you're doing this in the most intense and in the most capable way. I'm part of what is the Catalan government, Generalitat, and I work under the conseller, the Minister of Economy and Knowledge, who happens to be the founder of Barcelona GSE, Andreu Mascolell. So it's an experience of being working with a pure academic, doing the pure political task of being a member in a political capability, a member of a government. And this makes perhaps being in government even more attractive, because talks and discussions can jump between academic considerations and political considerations. I'm responsible for economy and finance, and this means that I have to take care of a range of things that would seem familiar to you. So financial policy, debt management, liquidity management, the treasury, generally speaking, making and screening budgets, looking for European funds, looking for state funds, supervising markets, making some impact in industrial policies, in trade policies, making also some impact in research policies, taking a unit that is fully responsible for competition, taking care of development all over the country, taking care of the economic balance of everything. So, in a few words, all of you are employable. All of you are eligible to be working in this part of the government. All your degrees qualify in one way or the other as potential candidates to work there. It's a pity that I do not have the money to take all of you on board. This is a real pity. But in any case, your profile, it's perfect in order to be working there. You have been learning the kind of theoretical foundations and considerations. You have been doing some kind of applied specialization that is perfectly relevant to what we are doing. We are working in all the fields that you have been really studying here, and we try to do our best out of the very scarce resources, not because they are scarce in absolute terms, but because they are scarce as the scarcity is, always in relative terms, that make us being very intense about providing priorities to what we do. So, in many ways, the task that we have in government is precisely inspiring ourselves in what you have learned in order to make the best of the resources that we have. And there is an enormous continuity in what you study and in what we do. One of the things that has surprised me the most of my experience in government is how closely related it is to what you study when you study economics in the more general meaning of the word. There is always this long complaint that studying it's always very theoretical and very far away from the regular daily job in a firm or in a public administration. Less further than true than this, what you study is exactly relevant all the time. When we have to decide if we give support or not to a particular firm, we have to take into consideration all kinds of elements that you have been studying. It's about competition policy. It's about of development. When we have to decide about what kind of indebtedness strategies we have to develop, it's always about finance, and it's completely about this. When we have to decide about how to deal with huge problems derived from the fact that health expenditure is growing so fast that it's really eating all the resources that we try to devote to this policy. It's about health economics that we are thinking all the time. And when we are trying to make our best of one of the small growing areas of success, that's science and innovation in the Catalan government, it's about the economics of science and innovation that we try to be inspired from. So the material that has made you now holders of a master's degree, it's the material that will make you completely relevant for government and for in order to work in governments. The daily dossiers that you have to study, the daily discussions that you have to be involved in, the meetings, the decisions, the hearings, all of this is completely within the range of what you're doing. In fact, I'm completely convinced, and I invite you to do so, that knocking at the doors of governments now will be one of the nice things that you can do, one of the good things that you can do. There are governments that are under economic stress. Typically, these governments from the European periphery that have now some problems with their financial access to markets, these governments need very much people with a proper economic training. One of the things that you discover is that the more stressed you are, the more you need people that is capable, well-trained, talented, and able to find the best, to find the most of the available resources and to provide the best impact in order to overcome the problems that you have to confront, just in the same way that you have to do this in private firms. The more you are stressed, the more you need capable talent, highly talented people that can bring you out of the stress situation. There are countries all over the world that are in a wonderful situation, that are growing pretty quickly, and that they have to manage what to make with the flow of resources that they are able to manage, and that is growing year after year. There too, economists are in high demand. So we are in such a situation where precisely the kind of training that you have is useful both for those that are now in public terms well off and those that are suffering and being under severe financial stress. For all of them, your qualifications are extremely useful. In a normal day, the kind of challenges that can be confronted and that you would be extremely useful in order to assist governments and in order to lead governments in the future are that substance of material that you have been thinking about, that you have been studying about, that you have been learning about. And the combination of your theoretical, your practical, your applied, your writing, your oral experiences, all of them are also extremely convenient. And from this point of view, it's also amazing how close your experience can be to be working in government, because you will be, you have to perform in oral presentations, you have to perform in tight and difficult negotiations, you will have to write good reports, you will have to convince both in a written way and in an oral way to others, and you will have to pay attention to those that will try to convince you in the same way, and all of this will make you use at your best all what you are and all what you have become during this last year by attending the courses at Barcelona GSE. It's what you do, what you will be able to make the others do, so also your ability to work in teams and leading teams and making others be comfortable of this common work. Because if there is one thing that makes perhaps things in government so different to things in academia, is that it's quite rare to work alone. It's much more common to work in teams and to have the team leader taking decisions, but after taking the best advice from the members of the team. But this is something that it's very normal, very common of the training that you get in a master course. The number of occasions that you have working in this way will prepare you very well in order to be performing at the highest possible level in your professional career, in your potential professional career in government. There is one nice thing about working in government is that, generally speaking, all the time you work for a public good purpose. There may be opinions on the political orientation of the governments, but normally you work because there has been an enormous amount of people that in a democratic way has voted the parties that are the foundation of the government. And this gives you all the time this sense that you work for a public purpose, and this public purpose is, makes you think that what you're doing is worth, and it makes valuable the effort of working many hours and devoting the best of your time to try to solve each of the problems that come in front of you. So with this promise that what you will be doing, even in government, is to work hard, to work many hours, to be working under stress, to work for others, and to consider perhaps that your economic incentives are not typically not on the short term, but on the medium and long term, that it's something pretty different to what you have in private business. If you are appealed by this set of circumstances, I invite you very much to devote your time and energies to work in governments. There is also another very valuable thing of working in governments, is that you get a very general approach to the problems of the private sector. And this is something that it's well known, but typically not much mentioned. Is the fact that from the government standpoint, you realize what are the problems, what are the stresses, what are the ambitions, what are the challenges of the private sector. And you get in a very frequent contact with the private sector, and out of this you also realize what are the interesting activities in the private sector, what are the most bright people that approach you from the private sector, what are the most appealing activities from the private sector. And this also makes very interesting to be sometime in government, because this sometime in government provides you with a view about professional opportunities and professional development that it's perhaps the closest one compared to the one that you have been experiencing at the school, at the postgraduate school. Well, it's my pleasure to congratulate you at this end of studies, and this commencement of a new life that I'm sure will be extremely successful. You have been investing a lot in order to have it successful. Your teaching staff has been investing a lot in order to make it a success. Your families and friends have been investing a lot also in supporting you in your ambitions and in your commitments. And I'm sure that if you're here, you're the kind of ambitious, committed, intelligent, but never forgetting that you have a social responsibility that makes you perfect in order to have a chance to make an impact in society and to make an impact in many ways in society. And this is why government can also be an interesting activity for you. I wish you the best, and my congratulations to this 5th cohort of the Barcelona Graduate School of Economics. Thank you.
Thanks, Albert Carreras, for reminding us how close it is what we do in the classroom and then what both in private and public policy and experience is done and is needed. I pass the word to Montse Farrell, Dr. Montse Farrell, Vice-Rector d'Economia of the Autònoma de Barcelona.
The Barcelona Graduate School was born to become a reference in the world of graduate education in economics. And it is very reassuring to see that by any indicators you'd consider, the Barcelona Graduate School has been achieving its objectives by far. I just have to look at this auditorium with so many people. I'm really amazed. By now, you well know that economics is all about putting the right incentives, human behavior changes, and the world points to another direction if the incentives have changed. So I can tell you that economists in this country have put the right incentives to create this environment of high standards and high quality teaching and high level research in economics. And here you are the proof that the incentives have been in the right place. So thank you very much for choosing us. And to finish, today is your day. It's the day of your graduation after a period of at least 1 year of very hard working on several fields of economics. So my congratulations to all of you and your families. I know that you must have worked hard, I know it, to achieve this degree, and that deserves all the congratulations. Graduate school is where you really start understanding the insides of economic issues. And I'm very sure that that has given you a lot of satisfaction. Now some doors have been opened for you, and you can choose paths, different paths in very many ways. Life has become more difficult for you because you have very many choices right now, but that's all about what life is about, having choices that you can choose, and life becomes richer. So I'm sure you will be able to appreciate and use all this to be happier in your lives. Congratulations and enjoy it.
Thanks, Montse. And Albert Carreras said it's not an easy job, the ones they have, so we understand all that. I pass the word to the Rector de la Universitat Pompeu Fabra, Joan Moreso.
Thank you very much. The Chairman of the Barcelona GSE, Secretari d'Economia i Finances del Govern de la Generalitat de Catalunya, Mr. Javier de Agustín, Chief Executive Officer of AXA, Vicerectora d'Economia i Organització de la Universitat Autònoma de Barcelona, ladies and gentlemen, dear graduates, first of all, congratulations. Last December, I was welcoming you as the 5th class of Barcelona Graduate School of Economics and encouraging you to work hard to take advantage of all the resources and knowledge you could acquire from this center. On that occasion, I encourage you to profit from the three elements, in my opinion, let Barcelona GSE establish itself as a leading academic institution in terms of economics. Its critical mass, an international community, and its outstanding research. This own model allows GSE to offer world-class graduate programs, meaning a great opportunity for both successful academic and non-academic careers. It could be that when you choose to study these master's programs, you were thinking about improving your employment prospects, pursuing your discipline at a more advanced doctoral level, or perhaps you simply wanted to broaden your knowledge through studying a subject in greater depth, a source of great satisfaction which I share and that I hope you have all enjoyed. But today, regardless of why you started, we are here to celebrate the fact that you have reached the successful conclusion. For whatever path you wish to follow, whether you wanted to manage the research department of a major company, work of an international organization, head to the offices of an official institution of the government, for instance, or pursue your doctorate or follow your doctorate, all the hard work that you have done means that the decision is now in your hands. And on a day that should brightly be dedicated to the recognition of your successes, Pompeu Fabra University is during this day, extremely proud to have contributed to the development of all your talent, and indeed all the international talent here in Barcelona. In that sense, I hope you also took advantage of your class diversity. Certainly, working with 229 students coming from more than 50 different countries from every part of the world, as Germany, Italy, Turkey, USA, Mexico, China, or India, it is also a good way to enlarge your point of view of the world. In short, for all these achievements, congratulations. Congratulations to the entire faculty for the work done. Congratulations to all the administrative staff that I'm sure have helped you on more than one occasion. And of course, congratulations to each and every one of you, because from now on, new doors, each one leading to walls full of opportunities, are opening before you. And now you have the key. Thank you very much.
And now we arrive to the main point, which is to get the diplomas, the master's degrees to all of you. This has been an investment in education, and if something we all economists always agree is that's the best investment one can do. For all of you who have done that, and sometimes it's been the family support, this has been a clever investment in these years of crisis. We also try to get as much help as possible to make this investment less painful for some of you. So I want to also to thank to the ones who have given scholarships to some of you, la Obra Social de la Caixa, Fundación BBVA, Fundación Repsol, Fundación Ramon Arestes, the Embassy of Panama, MSD, Albertis, Enagas, Telefónica, Fundación Carolina, Novartis, Patronat Catalunya Món, Biocat, Unicredit, and CEVAP. And next year we will add to this long list already few more, and among them the Catalunya Caixa. This is part of the effort that Barcelona GSE, as you know, is a public-private partnership. It's a private foundation, but built on these public universities, the Autònoma and the Pompeu Fabra, and with the strong support of board, mostly of private investments like AXA, which we are very pleased to make this possible. It's exactly a counterexample to a lot of things that people say happens these days of crisis and difficult times. So it's your achievement, one of good proof of this counterexample that we can look ahead. So we just passed and we'll read the diplomas and we'll come. Who's going to be reading? Here it is. John Rubio is the education manager.
So hello everyone. We're going to give you the diplomas. So please all join me to congratulate this cohort of graduates at the Barcelona Graduate School of Economics. We will start with our Master in Competition and Market Regulation. Fatli Shamak, Elias Carvajal, Marcio Chede, Carlota Dandolo, Mattia De Biasi. Nuno Esa, Marc Esparza, Julia Garcia Girona, Mostafa Ghanam, Brian Hasday. Natalia Herrera, Alexander Kolyachev, Yuan Jingli, Irem Meder, Ana Olive Gadea. Richard Peña, José Fernando Plata, Francesco Salemi, Cristina San Román, Ben Solís. Denis Afonin. Thank you, competition. And now please help me, join me in congratulating the graduates on the Master of Economics of Science and Innovation. Lamin Ben Hamdane, Leandro Blanc, Samuel Cristian Bobino, Sofía Cali, Héctor Galván. Emir Koprulu, Mats Tolas Nation, Barsha Paudel, Sebastián Pedraza, Zeynep Uyar. Laura Vera. Laura Vera. Thank you, Messi. Now help me congratulating the students from the Master of Health, Economics and Policy. Soledad Cuevas, Lilian Diarra, Verónica Gabel, Natalie Getz, Elena Hernández. David Gibran Lugo, Mohamed Habibullah Pulok, Lian Zhang. Thank you, Heb. Now join me congratulating the students from the Master Program of International Trade, Finance and Development. Jetse Adrians, Konstantin Albot, Marco Antonielli, Alexander Ballantyne, Samuel Chapman. Daniel Szorzelski, Emmanuel Crescens, Ellen Cooper, Sergio De Marco, Lucas Dorfler. Sarah Dur, Julian Ebner, Gaute Ayelsen, Reza Farai, Marines Fonseca. Jorian Frerichs, Miriam Frisch, Patricia Heidamus, Alex Hotbot, Thomas Jones. Mihail Kalush, Teres Kager-Lerchel, Anastasia Litvinova, Kormach Mangan, Julia Mariani. Lisa McCusker, Rodina Nalbani, Paul Enrico Neumann, Luis Mariano Nieto, Hugh O'Flynn. Chagla Egeonal, Ana Isabel Orbananos, Israque Osman, Pablo Pero, Cristina Rodríguez Llorens. Jacques Rossiter, Daniela Ruiz, Sara Isabel Sanchís Madera, Juan Ignacio Escaso, Julian Schwetz. Filippo Sebastio, Hannes Timischel, Sara Troiano, Anmol Upal, Emma Vesteson. Alexandra Viguera, Ana Villadomingo. Thank you, ITFD. And now please join me in congratulating all the students from the Master Program in Macroeconomic Policy and Financial Markets. Leire Arce, José Manuel Carbó Martínez, Saman Darugue, Carlos de Sousa, Jennifer Evans. Roger Magí, Gomis Porquet, Richard Horn, Balas Krusper, Evelyn Maggi, Carlos Martínez. Maya Matovic, Julian Mitkov, Nikolaos Nikolopoulos, Vasileios Paligianis, Osvaldo Pericón. Michel Rimini, Jordi Roth, Alessandro Ruggeri, Patrick Sanner, Thomas Schmidt. Irina Astanga, Francisco Venegas Zamora. Thank you, Macro. And now, please join me congratulating all the students from the Master Program of Economics. Ricardo Amaro, Rodney Armstrong, Laia Bajona Ametller, Natalia Barrera, Cristina Bellés Obrero. Jean-Michel Banker, Matías Brum, Sebastián Butchek, Ramiro Cadavid, Marcos Casarín. Lorena Castellanos, Ulrich Christian Clemens, Jayen Dudé, Marc Dordal Carreras, Bernhard Enzi. Narod Ercol, Jordi Galimany Baldosera, Gergely Akos Ganic, Jonathan Horlacher, Gavin Jackson. Preet Jenas, Andreas Kalker, Maximilian Kerk, Taezik Kim, Burcu Kuku Keles. Getz Kunze, Maria Lombardi, Nicolò Lomis, Federico Lubello, Kendra McCulloch. Elisa Pietro Simone, Oriol Pons Banaiges, Francisco Queiros, Everardo Quezada, Shri Ravi. Chiara Riviera, Rafael Ruiz Esparza, Miguel Santos, Bernardo Sarmento, Jean-Christopher Scherer. Joel Shopik, Federico Sciacca, Stefania Simeon, Marc Soriano Prats, Taida Spital. Delia Steiner, Miriam Tune, Carlos Uribe, Gonzalo Villacox, María Alejandra Villegas. Isil Kutloai, Mark Zondak, Max Ulrich Simontovic, Hanbeck Shank, Andreas Bjerre Nielsen. Jian Xinbei, José Carlos Aguilar Málaga, César Francisco Blanco, Ana Isabel Figueiredo Hadzou Tang. Thank you, economics. And now, please join me to congratulate all the students from the master program in finance. Max Alsborn, Uriol Andrés, Chagri Arichi, Irina Beretskina, Chan Bilgin. Luis Octavio Casarín, Usgur Fuad Engin, Cristina Hans, Yulong Jiang, Vishiro Keo. Wayahat Khan, Arkaja Kumari, Rui Manuel Márquez, Josep Márquez Frank, Ekaterina Mikhailova. Elias Minaya, Manan Rastogi, Matthias Ruprecht, Nazim Sava, Michael Schulz. Yu Cheng Sun, Ariadna Vidal Martínez. Thank you, Finance. Congratulations to everyone. This is over.
So now I can welcome you as alumni of the Barcelona GSE. Congratulations. And just before we finish, let's hear what some of you have to say. I want to give the word to Thomas Schmidt. What? Yes? All the others? Okay. And Maria Lorena Castellanos, Alexander Hotwood, and Veronica Cowell.
Wow, this is exciting. Good afternoon, dear colleagues, dear professors, dear directors, and dear guests. It's a great honor for us to be here and having this opportunity to hold a speech in the name of our students. When we started writing this speech, we were thinking back to the wonderful and also intense time we had together here in Barcelona. So let's make a little time travel through the last year and think back how things actually started. 10 months ago, we all gathered here in Barcelona with one goal: to achieve excellent education in economics. Well, one goal, I might doubt that for a lot of us, but let's keep that as an assumption for the moment. When we all arrived here in the beginning of September last year, everything was very new and exciting. I remember very well the first days in Barcelona, the first big gatherings on the beach, the Mexican Independence Day, the meetings at Plaza Chaume Primaire, and also La Merced celebration. These were the opportunities where we all met the first time and we had the opportunity to get to know each other. Everyone met new people from all around the world with different languages, different traditions, customs, and cultures. This was sometimes not easy. I want to give you an example that was very impressive for myself. For example, I remember very well, every time I met a new person, I had to find out within seconds if I have to give now only one kiss on one cheek, like in Mexico, or 2 kisses on both cheeks, like in Spain, not to forget the right cheek first, or perhaps just a formal handshake, like in Germany or Switzerland. A lot of times I got confused, and this might have created an awkward moment, but I learned quite fast, and I guess this is what they call intercultural competence. Then after a week full of sunburns, at least for my case, and sleepless nights, the brush-up courses started. The breaks, the library, the coffee machine, and the lunch at the cafeteria became the place where we started to get to know each other. I want to say that the experience of us macro people might have been slightly different to everyone else student. I want to include also the messy people for that. Because we got sent far, far away, behind the mountains, behind the forests, to the Bella Tierra campus. This sometimes made it a little bit difficult for us to connect with all of you and the other students. And I even heard people doubting, do the macro and messy people really exist? I want to answer your question. Yes, here we are. I even learned to appreciate the 1-hour day trip every day to university, and I have to realize that I kind of learned a lot during these long travels. For example, now, I remember every name from the train stops from Plaza Catalunya until the Universitat Autónoma, and I even can pronounce now the name of the train station, Baixador de Valvidreira. When the brush-up courses started, a lot of us got thrown into the cold water, and I kind of very well remember how I get very scared of my first Lagrangian function. But now in perspective, I have to laugh about this, and well, I was young and inexperienced. I also remember well as during the first day, everyone tried to make very sophisticated comments like, very interesting, this thing with this curve and this slope, don't you think so? But this changed very soon, and our conversations got way more relaxed, and it was more like, hey, I found this bar in Raval where beer is just €1. So in resume, the first days in Barcelona were wonderful. We felt free, we enjoyed Barcelona and the beach, and the greatest thing of all, we met all each other. But what happened after these weeks? How did things change over the year? Lorena from the economics program is going to tell you more about this now.
What we were used to call free time and party fun was suddenly replaced by mathematical fun. Starting with the surprise that really surprised us, the micro-conjectures, problem sets in situ, problem sets in dreams, a lot of coffee, and of course, our relaxing song, the Mercadona song. Definitely, now it's not the same as yesterday. We are not the same as yesterday. Before, we took around 15 minutes in the supermarket. Now, as we maximize our utility, we can take more than an hour exploring the best combination of Hacendado products. What about the library days? Being kicked out of the library at 1 a.m. was quite an experience. Not everybody lives that. Our lemma is now clearly represented by the old song of the 80s, Under Pressure by Queen. And as the master approached to July, we became asymptotically Lulu. For instance, our vocabulary became more sophisticated. 3 unforgettable phrases before and after the treatment, the master, come to my mind. Before, we used to say, can you give me a place? We now say, can you give me a place in your epsilon area? We now invoke the median voter theorem in order to decide what to drink. Furthermore, before we said the well-known I love you. But now this has become in the also well-known you are the alpha of my Cobb Douglas. Or, even better, with you, life is like a balanced growth path. Or even better, you put the stars in my Walrasian demand. So now I understand why it's so common to see economists going on with economists. It has been a very, very hard year. A year of being at the limit of tiredness and effort, but also a year full of mathematical fun, full of new friends that became our family here, and new experiences that will definitely last forever. After 10 months, we can finally enjoy the dynamic city of Barcelona, the massage and the cerveza beer. We won't forget the lunches at the cafeteria in the ordinary days, and the lunch at the Palacio or the chicken place during the weekends. We will definitely remember the long hours of meditation in the quiet Harry Potter library, in the fish tank, or in the TA rooms. What about the beautiful sunsets on the bench at the UPF? Of course, the sunsets behind the pink UPF buildings. We will definitely remember the green parrots inspiring the mornings and the curious pigeons at the cafeteria. Economics people, always in the library, always problem setting, always tired, always with a coffee in hand, and always in the limit. This year wasn't straightforward and required more than minor calculations, but we did it. What lessons have we learned? Alex will tell us more about this.
So now this incredible year is at an end. What can we say about what we learned along the way? Perhaps it's too early to tell. After all, since we came to the end of what will be, for many of us, our last ever exam period, we've rightly been taking a few days to celebrate. I really think one of the things we will miss the most from the Masters is that feeling of complete freedom when you walk out of the exam. Then going down to La Champagneria to refresh ourselves over a few glasses or bottles of cava. However, let's try and see through some of this post-exam period haze and begin this process of reflection. I suppose it makes most sense to start from my perspective as an ITFD student. In this regard, I think the first thing that my time in this group has taught me about is the importance of work-life balance. We ITFD guys have worked like crazy throughout the year, often spending far more time inside the library than out of it. However, even during the most intensive periods, we've always found at least some time to relax and have fun. Many of us joined the GSE ski trip, where some of us hit the slopes for the very first time. This resulted in quite a few amusing crashes, with skis and legs from all corners of the globe sent in all the wrong directions. Perhaps understandably, there were a disproportionate number of Costa Ricans, Dominican Republicans, and some southern Italians involved in these accidents. Given that in some cases they'd never seen snow before, though, I don't think we can really blame them. We also played football together, joining forces with the other master students on an epic cup run through the rounds of the UPF Championship. ITFD also took on the economic programme on occasions. My recollection was that ITFD always came out on top. This remains in dispute. I suggest we have a penalty shootout, but as I'm English, I don't think we'll bother. Furthermore, of us have enjoyed exploring the city together, seeking the best of Barcelona's cultural, culinary and nocturnal offerings. The New Camp, Kiosco Burger Bar, Nasty Mondays. In short, we were successful in maximizing life's potential, subject to the constraints of a large workload we had to deal with. And it's from how we approach the work that I will draw the next major lesson. I think it has been a great learning experience for all of us to work through the challenges of the year as one big team. The diversity of professional backgrounds and geographical origins we have allowed us to teach one another as we went along. By pooling all this knowledge, we have made it so much easier and more fun to get through all those dozens of problem sets and exams we have had to face. So we should take this opportunity to thank one another, perhaps over another few glasses of cava later, for all we have learned from each other during the year. Anyway, to wrap up this segment, I think the most important lesson I took from writing this speech is simply appreciating what an amazing time we've had here. It really put me in a bit of a bad mood, to be honest, to realize that it's really all over now. So thinking back on all the good times we've shared, I really decided the best thing would be for us to go ahead and do another master next year. Maybe we should swap, though. It's going to look a bit weird on the CV if we just do the same one again and again. Maybe at ITFD we could do the econ program. Can't be that difficult. Competition guys do the macro. Finance do health. Maybe they'll give us a discount if we all do it. We can work this out later. Before that, over to Veronica to conclude and look forwards.
We have been met with an undoubtedly challenging year, a ferocious sprint from beginning to end, a year packed with work and play and so much more. But what is it that we've learned and what will we take away? Before we came to Barcelona GSE, we were a diverse group of individuals. As we've heard, 229 students from 57 different countries, our academic interests wide-ranging, our futures uncertain. But the accomplished individuals who came here a year ago now leave a truly exceptional class of people. This year has seen a gradual but profound coming together, a realization that what sets us apart need never divide us. We have come together to celebrate each other's cultures, to debate, to support one another at times of difficulty. We have come to be great ambassadors to and for this institution, and we will continue to be. We also learned from the many sacrifices we made in coming here. When we came to Barcelona, we left behind our homes, our jobs, our families, our friends. We decided to come because we believed that Barcelona GSE would provide us with an exceptional preparation and a global perspective for a bright future. Along this long and difficult road, we have been blessed with the love and constant support of our families and friends back home. Without them, we simply could not have flourished here. And so today, it is in many ways actually your day, and it should be we who are applauding you. So, on behalf of the graduating class, we thank you. We would also like to extend our thanks to the faculty for their enthusiasm in relaying their knowledge and for their openness in hearing some of our new ideas. We would also like to thank the staff, in particular Carlota Manchon, Mestre Xifre, Cira Mora, Andrea Lacambra, Bruno Guayar, and Joan Rubio. Without you, this year would have been even more challenging, so thank you. And then, finally, and most importantly, I would like to congratulate the Barcelona Graduate School of Economics class of 2012. May you go forth with the lessons you learned here and pursue bright and happy futures. Congratulations. Felicidades.
Good job. You got it.
Congratulations, you said it all. And this has been your achievement. Thanks to everyone who has made this possible, and particularly to all of you who today graduated. But this will not be a proper Catalan celebration without a glass of cava. So I invite you to a glass of cava. Thanks.